Hey YouTube, it's Shannon Mac, Weight Loss Journal. I'm back for another video. I know you're stoked. So am I. I'm not gonna hide it. My last video was on kind of my weight loss log of kind of where I've been. I've lost 47 pounds over the past 2 years, but I plateaued and nothing seems to be helping me. So I'm trying to figure out what the next step is. And so I was talking to my dad, and my stepsister actually had, my stepmom and my stepsister, actually, now that I think about it, had weight loss surgery. But my insurance doesn't cover it. Back like, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 years ago, I kind of checked into all that multiple times, and every time it fell through. So I think the cost has gone down now, in probably the past decade or so. But when I initially started looking, it was like $18,000, and I just didn't want to, throw $18,000 down for surgery. It just seemed really expensive, and I thought I could do it on my own, and obviously, I've lost some, but it hasn't made quite the impact that I want. And I've had friends who've had weight loss surgery, many friends actually. You know who you are out there. And there's kind of been pros and cons, I see, and so I was a little hesitant. Just the financial, cost of it, kind of the psychological things that go on. When people don't eat right and do what they are supposed to, you can get ulcers. Can get pretty serious. I've known people to get hospitalized, for maybe they were doing what they were supposed to do and they just had a bad, response, or maybe they just eat like crap and then, it hurts their incisions and other things, and then, it is what it is. So anyway, my dad and my stepmom actually kind of pleaded with me to go see my stepsister's bariatric surgeon. And he's really well known here in Dallas. He did Nate Newton, which is a Dallas Cowboy. Go Cowboys! Even though they kind of suck right now. Jerry Jones is just going to be the general manager till the day he dies. So we're doomed. I digress. So anywho's, he's kind of, he's got commercials, and Dr. Kim's got like billboards, and so it's a little, he's everywhere. He smiles and it like dings, and he's helping people, but it was just, it's very public. It's just not like, he's pretty well known in Dallas. So anywho, I'm like, okay, yes, I'll go. So in July, I set the folder on here somewhere. Oh, just lost my earpiece. Okay. So that's him, Dr. Kim. And that's his associate, Dr. Holden. Anyways, that's them. They do, several different types of procedures. They do the lap band. They do the gastric sleeve. And then they do the bypass. And I kind of went in. There was a ton of people there. I was shocked. How big their practice was. And there were people in there that I'm like, girl, what are you doing in here? You don't need weight loss surgery. I shouldn't judge. To each their own. I was just shocked because, I just felt like a big old cow in there compared to some of these women. I was like, wow. Anyways, so I met with her staff. And Dr. Kim came in and, I kind of told him my situation. I've had a really rough year, as you know, from my audition video that I did. It's just broke off an engagement, was the victim of a crime, developed a skin condition. It's just been, a bed of roses around here lately. But I'm on the up and up and everything's good. And so, I've plateaued in my weight loss and I want to do something. And so, I kind of told him all that. And the first things out of his mouth were, well, Shannon, weight loss is more than a commercial. And I'm like, okay, this guy really does maybe care about what he's doing. It's not all like, glitz and glamour. And he just had a very real conversation with me, kind of the pros and cons of each one. The lap band, obviously, is the less invasive procedure. You can actually have the band removed and your stomach and everything still intact. But it's also the one with the least success rate. And, you have to get fills. They put like a port in your stomach and then you have to go get these saline fills in your port to tighten the band. And people after 3 years don't want to go get the fills anymore. It's cumbersome to do it. And so at the end of the day, you're just back where you were and you have a band in your stomach and you spend all this money for nothing. So that didn't really appeal to me. The other extreme was the bypass. And I know a bazillion people through my little friends and, or associates of friends that have had the bypass. Nothing begrudging to them. I'm happy for them in their weight loss. I've just seen some, pretty negative effects. I mean, you're rerouting your intestines and taking out a large portion of your stomach, and they have more issues with malabsorption, more just digestive problems. That's too invasive for me. Plus, with a skin condition, I have to be on steroids periodically to help, with the flare-ups or, what's going on. And you can't take steroids when you have bypass. So, no bueno for me. So that really only left one option for me to consider, and that is the gastric sleeve, which is basically where they go in and they take out 75% of your stomach, including the portion that generates the hormone for hunger. And so you're left with kind of like a small little pouch, but they leave your intestines intact. I think you still have issues with malabsorption, but not as bad as if your intestines were recombobulated. I can't do that. So I was like, okay, that's, probably a good option for me. It's, not unsuccessful, but it's not super invasive like the other one. It's kind of in the middle. So it seemed reasonable to me. And with that, obviously, my insurance, like it's a policy exclusion. It will not pay for it. So, once you kind of get past all of that, it's kind of like, okay, well, if I really do this, I mean, it's a huge life change. I mean, huge. What will my out-of-pocket costs be? And right now, I don't know if they're still running it. I know they ran it through September, but they have this program called MBA, and you can go to drkim.net and learn more about him. He's been, he's accomplished. He's done over 6,000 surgeries. He's a, surgeon of excellence in bariatric. Very well known here in Dallas, but they have an MBA program, which makes people fly from all over the place to kind of have surgery with him because They do a scope of your stomach. It's called a ECG, I believe. I'd have to go back and look at my paperwork. For a hiatal hernia. And if you have a hiatal hernia, then your insurance will pay for that repair if it's severe enough. And usually overeating causes a hiatal hernia. So if you have it, then your insurance is covering the cost of the repair. So all you have to pay is $4,900, and they'll do the kind of sleeve while they're in there, which is super duper inexpensive compared to 10 years ago, $18,000. I think right now, if you got the sleeve, it would be $10,900, just $10,900, just cash out of pocket. But this $4,900 rate, I'm just like, wow, I never thought that would be an option for me. So I talked to my parents, my mom, my dad, my stepmom, my biological mom. I'm adopted and I found her. So another video, another time. But she's an angel. My best friends, Jill and Theo, my brother, Trevor. That's kind of my inner circle. And they were all very supportive and really kind of encouraged me to take it to the next step. And so it's important, if you're going to have this type of surgery, to have a good support system. That's one thing I learned from Leah. Her video, just being a single girl, and she's a single, well, had a boyfriend at the time, but doesn't now. Thank God. You go, girl. That was a good move. She had a boyfriend that was unsupportive. And so that was really, watching her video was important to me. And so I went to all of my family and I had, really heart to hearts with them about, what's next. Now, I have a wonderful supporting inner circle. They've been my rocks over the past year in many instances that I mentioned earlier. So it just feels like it's time. I think it's time. So, yeah. I think I'm going to have the gastric sleeve done, people. Kind of scared. But I'm very, I'm terrified that I can't have bread and sweets anymore. But I'm, super excited that I actually am to a point where, God's opened doors for it to happen. And so, I don't even know what to say. I'm overwhelmed to know that I don't have to stay at this plateaued weight anymore. I'm moving it along. So anyways, and I'm super excited, which is why I've been stalking you guys online, because you guys are a plethora of information. I really, truly suggest, and this is one reason I'm doing these videos, is if you're going to have the gastric sleeve done or any weight loss surgery done, please go to YouTube and watch people's videos, because it not only tells you their day-to-day, but it also tells you how to prepare, what questions to ask, what type of medications you should, probably be on, or patches to get where you have less nausea that your doctor might not automatically give you, or mouth moistener because you get dry mouth. I mean, from that to what proteins and all those types of things. So I've really been taking notes, and I'm going to do some additional videos about the things, what the next steps are, because I have to go through cardiac clearance and to get the surgery. And then once I have cardiac clearance, then they'll schedule the surgery, and then the whole kind of, process begins. So anyways, I've been rambling now for 15 minutes almost, but it's important to understand the process. And, I've been waiting for this for over 10 years, and it's finally going to happen, and I'm happy to share it with you. So thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe. And until the next video, hugs and kisses. Mwah.